There's a new street fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace, the word is...
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk Loot Crate. I haven't done a Loot Crate for a little while because I was waiting for things to collect and accumulate, and boy howdy, have they ever. I've got some real gems to show you guys, so let's not stand on ceremony. Mr. Wayne, let's get to it. The first one, I think possibly the most important one, just to put the naysayers and the negative Nancys in their place. A Marvel Legend. Yep, I know a lot of people are saying, Dave, you're a Marvel Legends channel that doesn't do Marvel Legends. It's like Iron Man, you know, it's like, this is a weapons company that doesn't make weapons. Ew. No, I'm still covering Marvel Legends. I'm just covering other stuff too. And right now, a dude who needs to be covered up is Hercules, because he is showing a lot of skin. Am I right or am I right? I'm right. But what do we get with all of this flesh on display? A brilliant action figure. I love this guy. It's so bonkers. I love bonkers. Big, chunky, colourful bonkers. That's my criteria for fun action figures. And this guy covers it completely. First of all, I'm not entirely sure which body mold this is. Maybe you could help me out. Is this a newer body mold? Because it's a big one, but it's not Hyperion. It's not Omega Red, I don't think. I don't know who it is, but it's great. It's really, really good. The proportions are excellent. The legs and the chest, the musculature, it looks terrific. So the details on here, really, really cool. I was feeling a little bit sort of put out because he didn't have a skirt. And where was the skirt? I was like, but Hercules, he's got his little Greek skirty thing. And then people reliably informed me, and that's why I need you guys here to keep me honest, that this is the correct look for his 80s Hercules kind of look. In the 80s, it was acceptable. It was acceptable in the 80s to just walk around in your pants. And rightly so. That's why I encourage everyone to take off the pants, crack a beer, and look like Hercules. So he has two face sculpts, and that's again a huge big win as well, because I love the posing options. I like his sort of jovial, jokey, hey kind of Hercules face, but really for posing on the shelf, I like more of a battle-ready, grrr kind of look. And grrr is right, because this guy is a big hairy bear. I mean, you've got the sort of harness around here, and what else can you call it? It is a harness. I'm sure that maybe in Roman gladiatorial days, this served a purpose. I don't know what it serves nowadays. Maybe some weapons or costuming or armor expert could tell me what this is for, besides for someone to grab onto the back, if you know what I'm talking about. But still, that just adds to the fun of the figure. He's got his funny mace, hammer, mallet type weapon, which I don't know if it's as iconic as Mjolnir or anything. I assume that, you know, he is shown with this weapon quite a lot, and it's got the lovely sort of leather handle as well, so that looks really, really great. Then you got the big old H buckle and the wonderful sort of Greek sandals as well. All that copped off? He didn't cop off with anything. It's topped off. All that topped off with the great bushy beard and the expression that's just like, I'm about to go into battle. I really like him. He's quirky, bonkers, and will go straight in my West Coast Avengers display. It's not really a West Coast Avengers display. It's more of a Reserve Avengers display, and this guy's going to go right at home there. Now from Marvel Legends to Mezco, and I'm not going to linger too long on Mezco Thanos because I did a full review, so you can go and check that out. I will still say that I still love this guy. Totally awesome. But I will say, excuse me, I keep being windy because I speak too much and take in too much oxygen. He does have big flaws, and I will completely freely admit that. The big one that a lot of people are pointing out to me is that over time, I got to be real careful because this pleather type leather, it might end up cracking, and if it does, It's going to be a real shame. I haven't experienced it yet. Obviously, he's not even a week old. But I'm going to watch that very closely. If it does, then hey, I'll throw my hand up and go, boom, Mezco was a bust. And also, speaking of being a bust, you'll notice he's not wearing his Infinity Gauntlet. Why? Because it's appallingly designed. It barely hangs on. It doesn't just come off at the hand. Because the entire forearm is Infinity Gauntlet, it pops off just below the elbow, and there's like a tiny little sort of nub that it sort of sticks onto, but it doesn't stick onto it. It barely balances. Terrible, awful, nul point, 0 points, Mezco. I'm being honest. It's very easy to gush over a figure when you first get it. Lord knows I do. But I'll say it, the actual attachment for the Infinity Gauntlet, garbage. But I managed to kind of remedy that, to an extent, by displaying him reaching out for the Infinity Gauntlet, which is resting on a pedestal. And that looks really cool. So I'm kind of happy that I was forced to make that change, because it works really well. But the fact I was forced to make it, not good, Mezco. Not good. But the rest of him, I really like. Some folks think the costume is a bit over-designed. I think it's a happy medium, but that's entirely down to you and your own personal aesthetic choice. But for me, with his grinning face and 2 other faces you can use as well, I absolutely love this guy. Despite his flaws, he's awesome. Let's go over to a slightly cheaper figure now. We have Lynx from the Hasbro Fortnite line. Why did I get a random Fortnite figure? Well, I'll tell you. I'm building up a kind of a intergalactic mercenaries, bounty hunters type display, which I'm really enjoying. It's kind of like a random offshoot that I'm sort of building in preparation for the Cosmic Legion figures coming out. I've got it just over there. It's got a couple of Star Wars guys, a few Mezcos, a couple of Marvel Legends in there. I'm really loving it. And when I saw this kind of cat-like, feline, ninja-y, cyborg kind of design, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to throw in a quirky little Fortnite character here too. Because some of the Fortnite characters look so bonkers, they just wouldn't really fit with my display. But this is just straddling that line of quirky and weird, but also still believably badass. I love the little teddy backpack. It's like no person conceivably would wear that on an assassination mission or, going into battle unless they were slightly bonkers. And I like the idea that whoever's in this Lynx helmet here is a bit nuts, and I dig that. Plus, she's got this really cool kind of cyber scythe type weapon. I dig that. And in the female proportions, it's this great kind of Catwoman type angle. You got the claws on the feet, and there is a bit of a problem in that because of the design of the character, she's very spindly bindly. And that's kind of to be expected. If you made her chunkier, she wouldn't look like the character. So you have to kind of play that off. But when I first got her, I was quite underwhelmed. Because she was sitting in this box, and she's almost lost in the back of it. I was like, where is my figure? Is it in there somewhere? So it was a bit underwhelming to first get. And then when I took her out, she feels very plasticky. It feels like, not a lot of money has gone into making this, is how it felt. But then once I've got her posed, I'm going for the Scarlett Johansson butt to the camera, looking over the shoulder, slightly broken back type pose that people in superhero films kind of have to do on the posters, or at least the women have to do. If the men did it, as some Photoshop people have shown, it would look ridiculous. But still, the over-the-shoulder look, that looks really, really cool. She also comes with this gun as well, which demonstrates a bit of a problem with the figure, in that the design of the gun, her hands don't really fit it very comfortably. So she comes with a gun, but it looks really awkward to have her holding it. If people can work out a good way to have her grip it, let me know. Send me a picture on Instagram and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm a schmuck, you got it right. I couldn't figure out a good way to get her to hold it. But with the scythe, she looks really cool. But really, it's the cat face itself with the little thin eyes, the ears, I'm just knocking boxes off the table there, and then this little tuft of electronic cable type hair going down the back. I really dig it. It's a weird, random, quirky little creature, and I enjoy her. Alright, folks were worried that I was getting out of the Marvel Legends game because of characters like this, the Mezco Gambit. I think there are 2 figures that have got a huge amount of hype upon release very recently. One is Mezco Gambit and the other one, Mafex Gambit. I'm always going to make that mistake. One is Mafex Gambit, and the other one is Mezco Conan. People are going bonkers for that, and people have been going bonkers for this, and I can see why. This is my first Mafex figure, and boy howdy, do you see where the money goes. It is lovely. You couldn't replace your entire collection with Mafexes unless you have like unlimited money, but for one or two little standout pieces, it's so worth it. The cloth cape, or coat, excuse me, has bendy wire in there, so you can position it up and flowing and billowing in the wind. His flashing energy blast with the cards, that was what really, really sold me. I love this kind of jumping through the air, flinging them behind him type look that I've got going on here. And also what's nice is that the actual arc of the cards makes sense for how he would have thrown them. It always kind of irked me with the Marvel Legends one that they're all just like spoofing out of his hand, and it's like that doesn't work, that doesn't make sense, physics. Whereas this makes slightly more sense the way that they're looking. But then you've got the energy on the end of the staff as well. He's got two different heads, the swooshing hair, so much articulation, lots of torso crunch and ab swivel and all that kind of good stuff that I'm butchering the right terms for. But yeah, I absolutely, if we're talking figure of the week or 2 weeks or month, however long it's been, this dude, absolutely. I loved my Mezco Thanos, but there are big flaws with that guy. Whereas with Gambit, honestly, I can't think of any flaws. He's just a fantastic showpiece of a figure. Really, really love that dude. If you have the extra bit of capital to spend on a Mafex, then I would absolutely recommend Gambit. And finally, the last item for this loot crate is... Ready? Oh my goodness. Oh. It's the Lego Home Alone house. Oh, here you go. This kind of works. I cannot even really sort of show you this properly, like do justice to it, because it's too big and I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to open this on my Christmas break. I'm going to take 2 weeks off. I'm going to get ahead on my studying so that I can just relax and enjoy Christmas. And when I do, this is going to be my project. And I'm going to live stream it as well so you guys can join me while I'm building the Home Alone Lego house. But I cannot wait. I saw some videos and pictures of this. It's got so much detail. It's got all the various traps. It's got the TV and the props and the Christmas tree and the paint cans and Michael Jordan on a train set. All the crazy little bits that feature in Home Alone are all up in here. It looks beautiful. Absolutely incredible. So I cannot wait to get started on that. Roll on the Christmas break, because that's going to be so much fun. And guys, that was my loot crate for November, I suppose. We'll do another one in December and see what other nonsense I've managed to accumulate. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm really glad to have a new Marvel Legend that I'm really happy about, because I wasn't a huge fan of the Ursa Major wave, and like I've got some figures that left me a bit cold. But as bonkers and random as he is, Hercules really just hit that little place in my heart where I'm like, I love how wacky these things can be sometimes. Really love this guy. But yeah, my sort of gushing over figure of the week has to be Gambit. I think Mezco absolutely nailed that. Cannot wait to get the Mezco Ben Reilly. And we've got a whole bunch of more things coming soon, hopefully, that have been pre-ordered, and I'm just waiting on. We've got the Spider-Man No Way Home wave coming out. I want to get my hands on Morlun and Armadillo and all those ones. Plus Age of Apocalypse Wave 2. Still waiting on those. So when those arrive, I'll do some great unboxings and reviews of them too. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, then join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share and subscribe buttons. If you like this nifty t-shirt I'm wearing, you can get one at the Teespring store, which is in the link right below this video. And if you want to go one step beyond in supporting the channel, more so than buying a t-shirt or equal to, I don't know, how do you measure support? You can go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior, throw a few shekels my way. But guys, thanks so much, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Chill.
Keep forgetting the microphone. Check out the t-shirt, by the way, available at the link below. Let's get started. The second I start shilling, it's like, oh, I feel really awkward, but also like buy my stuff. I'm going to start that again. That wasn't good. It was bad.
Cup of coffee. Big time coffee.